All right, on to today's show, which is about smoking. Not smoking. We don't want to talk about smoking, but let's talk about it. It's an issue at every single property. Okay, so the first guest writes in and they want to know, is the Airbnb supposed to put up a placard that says no smoking, or is that like overkill? Are there certain words or verbiage that you use in your listing so that guests know they cannot smoke at your property? All right, that's a great question. And the answer is this. It's kind of standard everywhere that you don't smoke, right? Everywhere has no smoking policies. It's not nice to go into someone else's home and smoke. That happened like 50 years ago, but nobody's doing that today. It's not cool. So everybody should just kind of know. But if they don't know, yes, it should be in your listing. And it should be online where they can read it before they come. Because if they are a smoker and it doesn't say anything about no smoking, it's going to be easy to assume that they can smoke, right? With the legalization of marijuana, a lot of people think that it's okay if they vape and smoke inside your house. It's not okay, right? It's not okay. You've got to turn this property over for the next guest and you don't want your house stinking. Also, you don't want all that nicotine and tar on your drapes and your furniture and your carpets and all that stuff. It costs a lot of money to get all of that out of the air. So no smoking in your listing. And you can have simple words like, no smoking allowed, right? You don't have to use fancy words. Just come right out and say no smoking allowed. Now you can be more specific and say no smoking allowed on the property. That means they got to go out and go into the street or they got to go away to go smoke. If you want to allow it outside, that's okay, but not inside. All right, then the next thing is when you go to a hotel, as you close the door, the very first thing that you see is a little sticker that says no smoking. This is a no smoking room. And you can buy those on Amazon. I will leave links in the show notes to our Amazon affiliate. If you click the link, our show makes some money and we can keep bringing you great tips. Booyah, everyone wins and it costs you nothing more. All right, so no smoking placard on the back of the door. Another thing that you might suggest is that you put inside your listing a fee. And so if you do smoke in our property, here's how much it costs. Now also in the back of the room, at a hotel room, a lot of times they have this. There will be like a little thing that says, here's the going rate for this night. And if you smoke, it's going to be an extra $250 charge for us to come in and renovate and repair the air. And what that means is they're going to have to bring in an ozone machine and they're going to have to ozonate the property, or they're going to have to bring in Ozium or sprays or beads or gels or whatever it is to get rid of the smoking smell. That's going to take some time and it's going to cost some money. So there's a fee to do that. And you might list that as well in your listing and on the back of the door. That way there are no surprises. And if it happens and you hit the customer up with an extra $250, they're going to go, yeah. Okay, yeah, I saw the sign. I read it in the listing. Okay, yeah, here's the money, right? But if they never saw it, on the back of the door, how on earth are they going to know? And then they're going to say, well, it was never mentioned. I'm not paying that. Now you have a different fight you're fighting. All right, that takes us to our next question. And the next question is, if a customer smokes at your house and you do not allow it, where are they allowed to smoke? Do you allow them to smoke outside? And if it's smoking outside, are they okay to smoke in the front of the house, or do you make them go smoke in the back of the property so the neighbors don't see? That is a great question. That's up to you. That's your personal preference. If you don't mind smoking in the front of your property, there are lots of properties that don't have neighbors around that are going to see if you smoke in front of the property. And so maybe smoking in the front is fine. Just please step outside. If you do live in a neighborhood or you live in a row of houses, you may want to say go out back. That way there are not people smoking in the street that are strangers that nobody's ever seen before, and they're just out smoking in front of your house. That might look weird and they might call the cops and go, hey, there's a stranger out smoking and lingering or loitering in front of your house. If they smoke out back, all bets are off. Okay, now the next question, and this leads us to the next question. Who cleans up the cigarette butts? Is that the landscaper? Is that the house cleaner? Is it the guest? Who does that? Well, in a perfect world, to answer the question, people would not throw their cigarette butts on the ground. That's just not nice. It happens. It's not nice. But that is part of the landscaper's job. So if the guest is not going to clean up their cigarette butts, then that is the landscaper's job. When they come in and they do the mowing and the edging and the blowing, they're going to see the cigarette butts on the ground. They need to stop and pick those up. And you might pay them extra for that. That's a service you pay extra for. So I just want to let you know that that falls into the category of the landscaper. All right. The next question is, are you obligated to provide an ashtray? You're not obligated, no. But my suggestion is provide one. If you don't want to pay extra for the landscaper to pick up the cigarette butts, then my suggestion would be your guests are not going to put the cigarette butts in their pocket, okay? That is not going to happen. So they're going to throw them somewhere. Provide an ashtray. There are all kinds of decorative ashtrays. And I will leave links in the show notes to some decorative ashtrays for your property. Oh, isn't that a cool idea? Okay, so I will leave some as well so that you can check them out and provide them for your guests. That way, when they're done smoking, they can put them in the ashtray. My rule of thumb is this, and this is true for everything in your home. Let the guests know what they're supposed to do. If you provide an ashtray that says, hey, throw your cigarette butts away. If you provide cleaning supplies and they open the cupboard looking for some and they're there, it says, hey, we welcome you using our cleaning supplies, right? If they get cold at night and they open the closet and there are extra linens and bedding, you're welcome to use it. It's extra. We saved it for you, right? So if you share with them, hey, we have extras of everything. Everything has a place. Put everything back in the place where it goes. Your guests will participate. If they know what the rules are, they can play along. Most guests are not belligerent, and most guests don't want to do the wrong thing. But if they come stay at your house and you make it easy for them, then they will, in this scenario, put their cigarette butts where they belong.